the man suddenly realized that the unconscious patient lying before him was the murderer because he smelled the same perfume that was at the crime scene. However, the doctor insisted that she had been in a coma for 3 days and could not have committed the crime last night. So the detective found a syringe, intending to inject it into her thigh to test whether she was feigning unconsciousness. Watson witnessed everything. She lifted the girl's arm, and it dropped straight onto her face. The girl's pupils and breathing response were completely normal. She is indeed in a coma. The previous night, a man had been brutally murdered at home. The detective smelled a woman's perfume on the sofa. A neighbor had seen the appearance of the murderer, and based on the description, they quickly identified the suspect. However, because she had overdosed on pills 3 days ago and had fallen into a coma, she couldn't possibly have committed the crime. The detective casually flipped through a book on the nightstand, read, "Happy Birthday," for her and another girl. This made the detective realize that she had a twin sister, and the neighbors may have confused them. But when the detective met the sister, Elisa, he immediately ruled out this theory. They looked completely different. Just as the detective was getting confused, another murder occurred. The killer had used the same gun. By examining the scene, the detective noticed the murderer had again sat on the sofa, shot the victim, and left the scent of perfume. He also discovered that both victims had a rare genetic disease, and their facial bone structures were strikingly similar, suggesting they were related. Meanwhile, DNA analysis showed that the two victims were half-siblings, but strangely, they had no idea about each other's existence, and didn't know who their biological father was. In other words, they were both the illegitimate children of the same man, and both mothers had never revealed who their father was. To cover up the truth, Watson suspected that their biological father was likely the killer. However, Detective Bell's investigation revealed that this man had died a few months ago from an illness, and he was a local billionaire, leaving behind a fortune worth billions. Clearly, the killer's motive was likely connected to this inheritance. Before his death, he had told them that he had 2 illegitimate children. A few days ago, one of the sisters had hired someone to secretly investigate these 2 children. Upon discovering that her father had 2 other children, her inheritance rights would be reduced by at least 2/3. So, she had them investigate their addresses, and waited for the opportunity. Her sister was conveniently in a coma, so she disguised herself as her twin, killed both of them, and deliberately sprayed her sister's usual perfume at the crime scene, directing all suspicion toward her sister.
You found some way to compel her to take those pills.
I would never hurt my sister.
That made the detective realize his reasoning had gone off track. He then checked the surveillance footage from Elisa's apartment, and it showed that she was at home during both murders, so she was not the killer. The detective decided to stage a scene with Elisa,